In this TubeSpanner tutorial, we're going to grow on YouTube using search and discovery. I'm so excited. In full disclosure, am a brand partner of TubeSpanner, but I am super excited to get started. They did sponsor this live stream, but I've been getting asked a lot of questions. A lot of you have seen me over on their channel, and I am happy to get started. I see we have Kenneth Racing, an amazing member of ours, saying ready. Let's get into it. If you've never used TubeSpanner, it is a free browser extension, and we will have a link in the description. So if you want to give it a shot, please do. I think it's really worth your time, and that's why I'm working with them. So, some background. You may have seen a few other people in the space work with TubeSpanner. Nick Nimmin has worked with them, Daniel Batal's worked with them, I'm working with them, and they really listen to creators. Now, like any browser extension, there are a couple places you can find it. We have the link in the description. Great to see you, Kenneth. And so you can click that to get started. Then you will see this floating area. If you've ever wondered, hey, how does he draw on all the stuff he does? I use TubeSpanner for that. It has a drawing function. It has a pointer tool. So if you're trying to do demos or you're doing screen recordings, you can pick a pointer color and let me actually turn on the animation. And all of a sudden you have an interactive, we are meta, we're streaming, but you have an interactive pointer. And then, of course, before we even get into the browser extension, we have a magnifying tool. Great to see you, Doug. Doug also has made some TubeSpanner content. So I usually like the rectangle magnifier. I'll actually change this to be a little bit larger. I want the size here. I want a little more zoom. But if you want to zoom in on a certain part of your screen, really helpful to do this. So overall, that's 3 useful features. And we haven't even gotten that deep into the browser extension. So if you've ever wanted a quick sketch tool, you can hide this by doing that, put it up here, draw around. This is on YouTube primarily. So yeah, that's one of the ways to do it. And then we get started with the browser extension home page. I see that Home Rapid Repair has clocked YouTube Made Easy. Yes, that is the new banner. I don't know if I've shown this off yet, but this is our new banner. I might do a live stream all about YouTube channel banners. I get asked a lot of questions about them. But yes, Larry, aka Home Rapid Repair, who's crushing it, is definitely this. Welcome out and about with yours truly, Lizzo OC. Yes, so new banner, new me. Let me know if you'd like to see that. But we're going to click on the home icon here. And this is going to, show you the live stream that at the time of this live stream was present. But we'll probably have another one. They go live every Tuesday, TubeSpanner Tuesdays, they call them. But you'll notice it keeps track of what tools you've used recently. I'm actually going to zoom in ever so much here. Maybe one less. It seems pretty big on the screen. There we go. So the sketch tool, if you want to use that, you can click it. Any of the tools you use, it tracks. If you're trying to learn with popular tools, they have some blogs, they have some resources. I see right here from Doug, my main TubeSpanner uses are the notes tool and scheduling socials, so much more. And we are going to get to all of that. Now, we talk about growth. Where I like to go for YouTube growth is their ideation area. And as it says, get endless video ideas targeted to the viewer you want to reach to help you. If you are brand new, ideas are what make a YouTube video. From the utmost importance, the idea is that. A lot of people make the mistake in thinking, oh, I need the right tags, I need the right description. All of that funnels to your idea. The idea makes your title, makes your thumbnail, etc. And you can have ideas upon ideas, right? But the ideation station in TubeSpanner's main goal is to help you come up with ideas. And this is available. TubeSpanner has a free usable version. I don't work with tools unless I have something that you can try for free. So you can click Get Ideas. And what this is going to do, when you link your TubeSpanner account, it takes a look at what's on your YouTube channel and figures out what makes sense for your viewers. While it's doing that, if you need help with titles, you get video attention grabbing titles for your targeted to the viewer you want to reach to get more views. And that leads us to viewers. They have a couple of profiles. They have your current viewers. So your most recent viewers, like how YouTube has new, casual, and returning, your most recent videos of viewers are the people who are just now seeing your content. Your most views are the people who watch some of your more popular content. Your most engaged are the people watching the longest. So you can not only have that, and it gives you an idea. And if these don't fit your aspirations, you can change them. So aiming to increase their channel's reach and success, considering this is a live stream about Grow on YouTube with search and discovery, that feels right. Improving video visibility, mastering SEO, giving insights, pretty good for most recent. I also can make a custom avatar. So this is someone I'm ideally targeting, right? So this is Charlie, 18 to 44. Their income ranges from 18K to 105K a year, North American or Europe, English speaking, but curious globally. This, for a while, I've had more female presenting audience. So I wanted to have someone who is growing her channel to a point where it becomes her main job, work with brands. This is an avatar, but you can also have these three for free by default. So look at that. This audience is composed of proactive and ambitious individuals who are deeply interested in the world of YouTube. So if that's you, let me know in those comments down below. But this is a question. Who are you trying to reach in your YouTube videos? If you're watching the stream live or in the replay, who are you trying to help? Who are you trying to entertain? What are you trying to make them walk away with? I have a simple mission here on this channel that if I can grow on YouTube, you can too. So that's really my goal. I do notice StreamYard is glitching a little bit. I will change from StreamYard long term. However, I'm really excited because here's the thing. There is so much that we can do using TubeSpanner. And I really am using this tool quite a lot. So if we go back to video ideas, it gives me some usable ideas. Working title. This is not our finished title. Welcome, Kathy Fit. Morning all, says Doug. So unveiling new video assets you can't ignore. How to conduct a successful YouTube channel audit. 5 common YouTube SEO mistakes to avoid. Creative content ideas for growing channels. So these are all ideas. And if you notice, it has a brief and it has a method. Generate innovative content ideas that help smaller channels stand out and attract more subscribers. This might be something I want to do. Now I can save this idea for later. And then it says project published successfully. So it saved it. The secret to YouTube algorithm success. Remember, YouTube says replace algorithm with audience. Maybe I save this idea. And if I have ideas here, DIY video production tips for beginners. I know that Larry, aka Home Rapid Repair, is all about doing it yourself. He's a really great experience. Not me knowing Andrew was on till now, where you're here all the same. So I really like creative content ideas for growing channels. So I might say more titles for this idea, which opens our title suggestions. Now, if you're a free user, you get 30 ideas, 30 titles. That's a lot. If you have 0 ideas and now have 30, pick what makes sense, build them out. It really can help. And we're going to walk through how to do that. Boost your channel growth with these content ideas. Content hacks every YouTuber should know. Just because it gives an idea doesn't mean I need to use it. Some of these I really like. Some of these are like, this doesn't feel like me. And that is okay. If it doesn't feel like you don't have to use it. And I want to make sure I say that. But you might find something that does feel more like you. And I want to make sure we have that discussion. Stand out, unique content ideas for 2026. Top 10 content strategies for growing YouTube channels. I kind of like this idea. Ooh, developing winning content ideas. I really like this. Now, there's a couple of ways we can go. I can save this title, which is similar to what we did. We'll put it in our projects. So everything I've saved, you can see here. If you want to see, an idea more, you can view it. There's, my target viewer. You can see some of the videos I've been working on. Spoilers if you're watching or subscribe to this channel. But again, I asked you in the audience, who are you trying to reach in your content? I'm always curious. Now, if you need help generating a script, there is a tool that can help you generate a YouTube script. You can click on that. It'll take the brief, follow this comprehensive guide to transfer your initial content ideas into successful YouTube videos. Not bad. I could give it a tone and sentiment. I do write my own videos, so this isn't a tool for me, but if you need help writing, that could be a really good one. And we're going to throw it in Discovery Optimizer, which takes us into the next part of TubeSpanner. Now, there is the Discovery Optimizer. So a lot of people know that they need to do well in the suggested, in the browse. So there's a score built just to help you do better on the homepage, better in being suggested in browse. And then there's traditional SEO, Search Explorer. Now, if you have never heard this, YouTube calls their algorithm the search and discovery system. It is a huge part of how you can grow when it comes to YouTube. And what I like about it is that when you're using their search and discovery system, it helps you understand that YouTube has a lot of algorithms in focus. And their main focus is finding the best time to get people staying on platform, and they do that with topics. And topics matter, as we said, we're gonna keep going in circle here. Topics follow you through all the way. And so we have a little bit of a difference between search and discovery. If you look at the search score, let's say I'm really focusing on that. You can see it's showing you the competition. It shows you other ideas for this. It shows you shorts, long form content, tells you the keywords, tells you everything. We go back to Discovery Optimizer. This score, and I've gone back and forth with them. They said if it's outstanding, you're good to go ahead and do things, right? So from concept to creation, from YouTube concept to YouTube creation is maybe how I would change this. Developing winning, maybe YouTube ideas, and I'd get rid of content. And again, you can tweak and change these, right? That's the beauty. I do not have to follow with what it says. From concept to creation, developing winning YouTube ideas. From, I think even adding it here, developing, and I could just say developing YouTube winning, do that. I can analyze it, I can load, and I can choose my audience again. So to my most recent audience, it looks like a really good fit. And again, we've shown off all of these things. It tells me if my title length is good, and as this loads, we'll walk through. Good to see you, Drew Kavanaugh. Always great to see a happy and familiar face. And as this loads, remember, we have changed some things. We have tweaked this to fit more. And the Lexitronics shows you the common words. These are commonly used words that are easily understood by most audiences. And it shows you based on this key, right? So the common words, YouTube, to, it says proposition, noun, verb, adjective, and it gives you more breakdown. Title length, and it explains. It also tells you things to consider, but the title length is good. Keep in mind, anything after 70 characters on YouTube gets cut off. So 66 characters is just under that sweet spot. I could probably cut this down. So from YouTube concept to creation, and instead of developing, I could say develop winning YouTube content ideas. And if I hit analyze on this, again, the score changes because even those slight tweaks matter. Now, this is less. That's okay. I think this might read better for viewers. And that's what I'm looking for. Truncated. Yes, Larry, it absolutely is. So now even less is truncated. Readability, it says, is clear and structured, outlining a journey from concept to creation. It uses familiar words, making it easy to understand for the average viewer. The colon helps separate the two main ideas. It says that overall, the title sentiment is positive. I try to lead with a little bit of positivity. Again, if I can, you can too. It says a compelling element could be better, has potential. It says the title may appeal more to beginners rather than experienced creators, which is what I'm going for here, which could limit its audience reach. And it says this is an educational title, and everything I just told you, it reminds you here at the end. So if you're like, damn, what did Andrew say? It's already built in tool. Now, I'm going to go ahead and save this title. And what I could do is once I'm ready for this, we could continue. I could right now make this a video. I could save this and go deep. And that is just one tool of TubeSpanner. And what I want to do now is show you how I actually use it from an already existing video. Now, if you've been on this channel for a while, one of my best secrets is if you want to have something that is already built, you're planning your next upload, have something like this where it just is a placeholder. This video is of my cat Simon. Shout outs to Simon here. But I use it to promote other pieces of content. So from YouTube concept to creation, develop winning YouTube ideas. Now, this has a place to live. But you may also notice the highlight description feature TubeSpanner shows here as well. I've shown a lot of people, this doesn't make sense, obviously, with this title, but because I was able to take it from here, I could use this as a starting point. Now, let's delete this. Follow this comprehensive guide to transform your initial, this is too much, your YouTube ideas into successful YouTube videos. I could also make this, follow this, I could say in this video, instead of follow this video, I will say in this video, you'll learn how to transform your, yep, that works. I could then, again, when you're writing a description, you have a lot of room. Keep in mind, one huge mistake I see is you'll have this space here between these two parts. Delete it. You need just value. Deliver the value. Do not waste the time. YouTube uses this first 200 characters in your description to match your title. What is said in the video? Do not discount it. No, maybe you have other videos, right? There are description tools, things like smart text. With that, you can then select a custom video link related based on tags. Watch next. Or you can find an existing video. So maybe I could link to another video I have. Maybe I want to show off Ask Studio Explain. Want to learn more about YouTube? Check out. And then instead of me having to go and search and find it, it lets me easily add this video in. And you can always check if you're not sure. Check the link. It's the live stream. Perfect. So that's how easy it can be. And if you want to use TubeSpanner in here, click it on the side here. Brings you back to where we were, and you see all the tools it remembers I was using. And that's pretty smart. Now, I know what you're thinking, Andrew, you're covering what it is, and you're right. Thank you for being an astute viewer. But let me also zoom in here. But yeah, we're getting done through a lot. If you have any questions, I really encourage you, please ask. TubeSpanner is one of the tools I've been using. There are many out there. And keep in mind, I used to be a tube buddy. I'm familiar with that. I have a history of looking at these tools, and this is just one of the tools I'm looking at now. If there's a tool you'd like me to check out, let me know in those comments down below. I am a partner here, but I am also love talking about these things. I don't want to be exclusive. If I did, I'd probably still be a tube buddy. But here we are. Now, we talked about ideation. We talked about discovery. We could look at the projects again. And as we have gone through, we want to view this again. We can load it back in. And so as it's loaded back in, it's actually updated its score to 74. It matches what was on YouTube. Keep in mind, titles, scores, things like that, they can change. But now, Doug earlier said you can schedule things. And let's check out the share tab, which you can use to share to different social media platforms. So for example, today I'm live. Maybe I want to share that. What is a quick way I could do that? We'll click share here, copy. And so we go back in, click on the TubeSpanner tool, click on the share tab here, where I can say, hello, I'm live now talking about how to use TubeSpanner to help you grow on YouTube. Check it out. And I can preview it. And if I go ahead and scroll down, it gives me a little bit of an idea of what this will look like. I can choose files to include. So if I have the thumbnail and I want to include that, I can easily do it. If I have a link, let's say I didn't have that link ready and available, I could also select one of my videos by going here. I can choose the publish date and time. But this first, we'll click on that preview. Preview mode, click above to return to edit mode. So this is what it looks like in preview mode. In edit mode, I can edit it again. Preview mode, what it would look like. So yes. And if I want, I can publish this now. Maybe there are people who will see it right now. So now that I've done that, it will show on my Twitter. And that's really interesting and fun because I didn't have to go to Twitter. I didn't have to get out of my tab. I didn't have to do that. I was able to stay there and just tweet from what I'm doing. So this was as we are live. If you follow me on this platform, you should have seen it. There we are. 3:20 at the time of the live stream, PM. Very new tweet. That's crazy. I didn't have to leave YouTube. Everything I need. Post share to my selected networks. And you can connect more. And one of the things that you can do if you want to connect more is there is a lot in TubeSpanner. You can click and hover over here. What does that look like? Oh yeah, YouTube. So let's go back TubeSpanner. Click here. You can check out the that's me. You can check out the TubeSpanner dashboard, the settings, your account. If you want to earn money and recommend people TubeSpanner, you can. There's the viewers and avatar. There's the Discord, the blog. One of my favorites, which are achievements. Now, if you have a new achievement, on April 1st, I uploaded my 325th video. What a day. Not a joke, just a fact. But you have a lot of ways you can share these achievements. There are light mode animated with GIFs, squares, wide, 1x1, 16x9. Really cool ways to share these. There are also, if you notice, it keeps them for a long period of time. Other tools, they expire, but it tracks a bunch of different stuff. Like 27,000 comments is insane. How many comments do you think you've had on your YouTube videos? Do you know? 27,000 comments is nothing to write off, but it goes to show the impact you can have on YouTube. 27,000 people? That's VidCon. That's the amount of people that have commented on my videos on this channel. That's incredible. Hell yeah. And again, we've gone through a lot of tools. There's a lot of value to be had here. You click on competitors, you can add another channel. You know what? We have Home Rapid Repair in here. He's not really a competitor, but it is an option. Ooh, not being able to see him. Let me figure that out. Maybe I'm the problem. There we are. If we hit add, it'll add him here. Hello, Larry. There he is. Like I said, he's been doing a lot of cool stuff over on his channel. Definitely worth checking it out. We also have Doug Hewson, not necessarily competition for me, but for the sake of the example. Ooh, I see that mobile there, channel Doug. And what's going to happen is this is going to add Doug right here. And then Doug, if I want to sort by views per hour, I can see what that does. Views, date uploaded. I can see how many videos. I can say this week. So this week we have some content from both of them. This month we can see more. I could do all time. I can do in the past 48 hours, which I see Larry has a piece, one video out right now. I can do it by views. Or I can do it by date uploaded. If I wanted to add more, you can have quite a lot. So I want to make sure that we show this off. We have Drew Cav, who is also here. Ooh, I think it might be like this. It might have been, yeah, I think this change may have been because YouTube changed it to @ handles. But look at that. And if you want to remove, I don't actually think any of them are my competitors, but you can click these 3 dots and remove. But you guys showed up in the stream. Why not have a little bit of fun with that? And so, yeah, if you're here to try to see how you're doing compared to similar people in your niche, it's a great way to do it. And the best part is you don't have to leave. If I click on this video, which I don't believe I have watched yet from Larry, need to watch it. I'll go ahead and drop a like. There's another way you can add this, and it's by the add competitor button on his channel. You do that. It'll show up in your competitors. And there he is again. But again, not my competition. Friend of the channel. Larry, good to see you with those. So yeah, this is something that, a lot of people are like, well, what if I want to track? That's a way to do it. There's Ask TubeSpanner. Look at all these tools they have. Really, the best way to use it is to get started. There are membership perks. You can use smart descriptions. We showed off a lot of these, but there's some thumbnail tools. Obviously, I'm an Adobe Express ambassador, but if you need help there, it's another option for you. So these are just some of the many tools. And it is very interesting to see how you could use TubeSpanner today. That's what I like about tools like this. I see Drew Cap says, fun to see that I came up, but I don't think I'm a competitor at all. That is fair. It is a great use case and example, though. But we've shown a lot of tools, folks. So when you're trying to grow on YouTube, use those search tools. Come up with ideas. Everything on YouTube is built with one idea that you see through to execution, which is even, to get, I guess, a little meta, was the video that it even recommended I make, which is from YouTube concept to creation, develop winning YouTube ideas. Really happy with that. So overall, I think that, we've talked a lot about what you can use TubeSpanner for. And one of the things I can tell you is if you are trying to grow on YouTube, there are a lot of tools out there. There's TubeSpanner, there's vidIQ, there's TubeBuddy. Use what works best for you. I'm using what's working best for me, and I'm using a tool that is listening to their creators. And not to say the others aren't, but what I will say is you should see how they move. How are they being used? Who is using them? It all matters. So, yeah. If we have any questions, this is your time in the show to ask. Hopefully, you're enjoying the live stream. I know I am. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for making it this far. Now, if you are curious, because I saw a comment earlier, I want to make sure that I link to it. One, you can try TubeSpanner absolutely for free. Link will be in the description. Want to make sure that I am putting that here. But also, keep in mind that when you are trying anything, you should join their communities. You should do different ways to be active there. So if you're trying TubeSpanner, that's a quick link for you so you can see how it does. But more importantly, there are lots of different ways that you can do things. I was just at what time is it where I'm at? It is 3:27 p.m. I'm in Pacific time, LA. You can also preview a video in your YouTube home if you want to see how your video looks. Maybe you want to see it on the home screen compared to others. This is a way you can see how your channel shows up. Of course, they use the TubeSpanner channel, so it might be a little overlap, but it is something that's cool you can do. If you are trying to focus on one particular area, that's where the draw tool is super helpful. But yeah, that is a way that you can check it out and use it. And that is something that I'm using very frequently. Doug talked about using it for live, for using it for note taking. There are ways to do that. There are a lot of ways to use this for what you might need. So I really hope that you give it a shot because for me, that is one of the best ways. LA, get me a double double. Look, In and Out is a huge perk of being in LA. I'll say that. But it's also in other places, I know. Now, I do think we have talked a lot about creator tools. We've talked about a lot of things. But most importantly, I hope you go out there and try this. Let me know what tools you want to see me to cover next. You want me to take a look at any tool? I'm always happy to do it. I have a lot of experience. And of course, as always, if I can use TubeSpanner to grow my YouTube channel, then you can too. Thanks, everyone. Take care.